Today's a journey, and we'll begin with a one-word or phrase sharing in the circle.
I loved my giant bed.
I just want to say good morning to everybody and thank the Creator for another beautiful day, and it's good to be a part of this circle, and thank you again for allowing me to be here. Thank you.
I slept in today. I was so excited about last night that I talked about it till 11 o'clock and then alarm didn't go off. And yeah, got up at 7:30, got here. Happy to be here.
Good morning. Looking forward to a great day.
Good morning, everyone. I'm looking forward to learning a lot again. What a lovely brisk walk here.
I'm curious about being a participant rather than an organizer for activities today.
So I'm just going to introduce myself because I wasn't here yesterday. So Sego, my name is Jessica Danforth. I'm a Mohawk from Oct.5th. I'm the director of Native Youth Sexual Health Network, and I also coordinate the Youth Leadership Project at the Canadian Aboriginal AIDS Network. I couldn't be here yesterday because I was emceeing the vigil, so that's how I'm feeling today. There were hundreds and hundreds of people who came, and I know that some of you were there too, and it was such a incredibly inspiring but mostly awesome evening of what we actually do in resistance to violence.
Trying to get over a cold and getting energized by everybody.
Deanna, and also had a brisk walk today, but partly because I went with somebody who led the way, and just thought how medicine that is to have someone along with to guide.
Joanne, relaxed, relieved, refreshed-ish.
Always cautious. I'm just really, really happy not to be sort of intellectually lonely in what I'm doing, and also not to have to be in a space where I'm not just a brain on 2 feet.
Tony,
A rose, sorry.
and yeah, the vigil, even though I wasn't there, touched me and put me in mind of people in my life too. And I'm really happy to be back in this space.
Sam, and I'll say glorious discomfort of anticipating growth.
Last night I started my journey to be a champion potato dancer. Randy.
Tracy, and not quite so eloquent as Randy. The round dance was awesome, and the potato dance was fantastic.
June, I'm really enjoying the Saskatchewan skies. They're beautiful. And if I hadn't come from so far, I would have brought you all some sexy cupcakes. So maybe we can do something with the fruit at lunch.
Melanie, good morning. And this rock is wonderful. My hands are cold, so it feels good. Refreshed. I also had a wonderful walk here this morning, and I could see the mist coming up off the river, and perhaps some of those geese that have migrated from Alaska were down by the shore.
Good morning, I'm Tara, and I'm full of anticipation for today.
I'm Julia, and I'm crafting things, and I'm excited.
Good morning. My name is Leslie. I'm feeling very synergized, and this is just an ongoing warm circle.
But I'm hopeful at what will be the outcome of this.
My name is Wendy, and I'm just going to sit back and allow everyone else to guide me, and hopefully I can walk away refreshed.
I'm Lucy. I'm feeling in different places, being mommy role, and then really excited about being in this space. This is the kind of space that always energizes me and gives me lots of ideas and hope for different changes and growth. And I really can't wait to get to meet people more.
I'm Andrew. I always like it when I find small change.
Jessica and Andrew missed the beginning of yesterday, so Warren and I were thinking last night it might be good to just give them a taste of it if we can, by just going round the group and doing one word or one phrase story and passing it on. So we'll just do that very quickly. Start it off. Okay, so there were, outside there was a sort of hubble bubble of people slowly arriving.
Last night or now?
Last night.
Oh,
We're doing
okay.
last night.
What we're doing last night.
Last
Okay,
night.
yes,
We're
okay.
refreshing. We're just telling the story
Sorry,
last
I
night.
was slow on
Just
the
go.
genre
Go with
taker.
the first thing in your head.
Okay.
No editing.
Looking before themselves and thinking behind themselves.
All of the days.
That's not fair. I do my job. All of the day's work, I guess I'll complete a sentence. I think it was anticipation and excitement.
Some people we knew and some people we...
Friends we had yet to discover. Bringing energy in to transform this place.
It was exciting. And then came the drums.
We decided to sit in a circle and smudge.
Uncovered the masks of our youth.
Youth, our mirrors to ourselves, sharing their joy and their puppets.
Young people leaving the stage, walking down the stairs, giggling and laughing to each other.
Sharing food together.
Sharing ideas together.
Sharing the feeling of connectedness.
With elders who brought us prayers.
A lot was said through words, but even more was said without words.
Circle of introductions.
Many new faces.
Getting to know people. Who then went to snag at the round dance.
And others enjoying conversation.
We all have pain, we all have sorrow. Oh yeah, oh
Remembering why we're really here, who we're working for.
The youth reminding us how to laugh at even the most serious things, and them being up there and in some ways being the adults and us in the audience being the kids.
And rounding it all off with a sleep.
Speed up, slow down, walk heavily, walk lightly, stand still. Always mindful of these interesting bags, twirling. And noticing there are other beings, other life forms in this room. And saying hello with your eyes. Start!
Stop!
Say your name. Say your name. Stop.
And over there on the table, there's some pens. Just draw a face on it.
My name's Kitty. It's very, very original.
Very Southern.
I'm a serious enzyme
One of the things that I've learned over 30 years of making puppets is never try and talk to anyone with a puppet in their hand, because it becomes really difficult. What the subject of your conversations, and we want you to do some research on this as puppet. Puppet
I'm
research.
the interpreter.
Thank you. This is my lip sync. We want you to do some research on on well-being. So what your puppet needs for its well-being, what support it needs, what support it needs around it, what support it might see in its puppet community that's needed, and maybe in the whole puppet world, what is needed. So just go around and see what you can find out about the other puppets.
Well-being. It's community. Oh, that's cute. Family. I think family and community are the same. I think maybe we're family. Oh. Community is the key to my well-being. Connected. It provides me sustenance. Thank you.
Yeah, I would say both. Friends are good. Friends are good. Need a bit of quiet.
You need some space at times, right?
Let's walk. Awesome hairstyles that they need to take care of their hair with, and I learned that I could get people's numbers by asking for their hairstylist. And I also learned that I'm not alone in people not assuming what my gender is.
No way. But apparently yoga is supposed to make me good. Hype on. Anyway, this is how I speak, but apparently yoga is supposed to be good for you.
Yoga. I was very rushly made in a rush. And I realized that to be well, I have to feel like everyone else. And I didn't have hair, and so a lovely friend gave me hair, and then I felt good. Yeah.
I'm sassy. And what I discovered today is it was nice walking with all different kinds of people, and we could walk and talk with sadness, and it was good. Hi, I'm Sally. I learned color is really good for you, and red lipstick rocks, makes you look beautiful any day. Outdoors is the place to be, but do stay out of fire.
Pretty much every culture in the world that I've ever come across has maps, and they look very, very different. They don't translate the land into green squares, and so this is your map. Let's be clear about that.
And one to the right. This is a collective mural built on everyone's drawing. So slowly look at each one. Be aware of your reactions. There may be an element that really captures your imagination, hits you in the gut, says something to you. Yeah, go to that place. All right. Okay? And there's scissors, and I want you to cut out what you, as a group, feel is the important part.
You're going to take it.
And there's like a span of time and a span of age. And then this notion of hospitality, and I think people coming together over and sharing around these connections.
I really felt there's a real tension around that. There was a sense that I was uncomfortable with the discomfort around the sadness of the image, you know, because it was really quite haunting to begin with, and there was a sense that vulnerability and sadness was really being honored in a way. And then the next time I came around, it was like it had been erased almost. It's like, it's not okay to be sad.
As if you don't know that I was the one that wrote that, Sam.
Yeah.
I'm not an artist, so I could only write words. So I sort of saw it, and I could be totally misinterpreting it. I think that's what's interesting, right? Is it's everyone's perception of what they think is going on. So, like, I thought it was interesting, like, with the vulnerability as strength, or help is on the way now, being HIV positive, for example, and this sense of belonging. And I saw people furthering that vulnerability, and so I wrote that because that's what I felt was going on.
I think I like the spiral. Another reason being, like, in a spiral, you really start very far away from your center. But if you move along the path, you gradually come home. Although you're far away, if you follow the path and you keep moving, you keep growing, you just coming to your center.
Is about the environment. Like, there's a whole eco aspect to this that I just love.
Is there a way we could turn this into a paper canoe?
Oh, what a cool idea!
Because we have to display it.
I love that idea.
But I don't know how to do it.
Oh, well.
I am as an Indigenous person and as a researcher and as an academic and as a community person and as a brother and as a son and a folks as a community. And that's what blocks me a lot.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because I'm American, but my father-in-law got one of these, so I'm just wondering, like, why do you see it as a block?
Well, the Crown colonized Canada.
And the Queen's Medal is given out on the celebration of her birthday.
Oh, okay. I have a similar, like, is it a challenge? I brought two objects, but, so I don't know how to stick to the rules.
Yeah, I didn't know how to stick to the rules either.
So I did a project with 8 Indigenous women about their maps, their healing journey. And I gave them each a rock that I picked up the St. Lawrence River as a symbol to ground them. And I chose this rock, I'll work with this and then I'll come back to that. I chose this rock because the lines crisscross on the rock. And myself as a non-Indigenous person working with Indigenous people, feel like I'm a bridge. I'm always crisscrossing, I'm always intersecting. And this is the relationship that I have, and I feel like a bridge. I feel like my role as a therapist is a healer and to be a security in a rock.
I struggle to know how to connect with stories. I'm sort of a storyteller, but when I'm working now more with Aboriginal communities, it's not my place to tell Aboriginal stories. And so I need to know how to connect in a respectful way with other people's stories. And so I just need more teaching and need to know more how to do that.
And all that stuff, and then you focus on your family, you know, because we live in family, but that I feel like my connections to community, other than I do some things actually with the Talking Stick Festival or whatever, but I don't have, because the kind of work I do doesn't link necessarily to community, I don't have, so I kind of feel like I need a vision of a way of taking the skills that I've got and making it feel more real to me, because I do feel, I mean, they call it an ivory tower for a reason, because you get really out of touch and you get really locked away because whoever said that yesterday, you're always being chased. Yeah, you're always being chased. And so that's fine.
But like every time we bring this out, they eat it up. Like they just want to take them home. They're so proud of their contributions. They feel really lucky. And so anyways, this energizes me. This is why I do what I do every day, to get up and work with these youth. And this is probably the most sophisticated analysis I've ever seen of the links between colonization and HIV. And it was a comic created by one of our youth coordinators in like the space of half an hour. So after hearing all of the data analysis, and we had all these talks about what this project meant, he synthesized the entire 3-year project into this infographic that's absolutely brilliant. So,
and I've been thinking about how the particular skills that I have in a very pragmatic way can be useful to people in actually trying to nourish themselves and nourish their communities. And I think one of the things, some of the skills that I have in terms of historical understanding are a way of mapping the terrain that has impacted how the particular tributaries of people's personal rivers may end up coming toward the lake that is, in my metaphorical way of thinking, the community. And so I just conceive of the instrument as the art that actually produces something of value that can be nourishing. And so I'm not the actor, I'm not the one who throws the spear, but I can actually be part of the process of understanding the flow of the water and opening up space so that happens in a good way. And that's sort of what I think of when I think of that instrument.
I have family members that have never been found. I know that. Like 20, 25 years. I knew them when I was young. They're gone now. There's nothing I can do other than pray and things like that. And the violence against women. I was never abusive to women in any way. But ending that cycle, and where did they learn it from? You know, where did my parents learn it from? This degradation of females in my life has been a problem. And I was trying to, my own research now leads me to that. So where are these young men coming from? And I know where they're coming from because I was there too. I saw what was happening. And this is because they were so removed from what it used to be. Right? Like we can say all kinds of things about residential schools and whatever, but I know that they were a big part. And I know that, at least for my family, I speak about that was their vice. And how do you end that cycle? Well, you just take a stand and say, no, I'm not doing this. And that's pretty well the way that I could, when I look at the impact symbol, like my kids are always with me, much like you. I didn't cry when they went to school, I was like, get out. But I enjoy the fact that every day when I go home, they're there. And they never have to worry about like somebody coming in and you hear the beer bottles clinking or whatever. Like when I grew up, they always know, you're home. What are we going to eat? You know, that kind of stuff. I think if anything, that's the impact. And that's why I became a teacher. So to help other young people understand where they fit in the world, as we say. What we say in our language, we are all related. And we try to make sure that we stay connected and to the family. So the impact, just the kids. It's always about the kids for me. So all my research, it's always about children. So watching those young people create that puppet show, that was awesome. And not even just the puppet show, watching the creation and the process that makes it.
Of course, it's a negative word, but it's part of a scene that we did with youth for a project where they had a chance to speak to service providers about their experiences. And this particular scene we called Labels because the youth talked about feeling like they were always being labeled. And in the scene, this is one of the badges that gets applied. Like in the scene, there are two social workers talking about a youth. And meanwhile, the youth is standing there, and he gets labels attached to him until he's covered head to foot with labels. And then the social worker goes, "Oh, I'm glad to meet you." So it's a really impactful scene that comes out of the youth stories.
The Enbridge oil thing really adds to it. Sorry,
Go back to your image. And this group comes.
What's the calves now?
Okay, this is being pulled in over. Being just like being pulled.
Holy. This challenge is tough. Let's look at the impact. Form your impact picture.
I need to get back to yoga class. I could hold this pose before.
Hold it. We're going to do this a bit quicker than the last one. And you guys... Remember your image of the challenge. What will you add to this one to add to this? An element from your challenge that you might want to add to this.